Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Here, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia, Season 8, Episode 5. We're continuing to discover this final season of My Hero Academia together, guys. That's really something, you know, each episode so far was epic, was emotional, was intense. I think that I cried for each one of them, maybe except for the episode 1. But except for that, I cried a lot. Really, the previous episode with Bakugo, that was the top of the top. I felt so fucking proud of him. The fact that not only he was so strong, he was so brave, he went for it, he never gave up, he used all of his strengths, he used All Might's last strengths. Not only because of that, but mostly because of the fact that doing all of that, his thoughts were for all of the people who fought with him, who taught him how to fight, who made him who he is right now. And for Bakugo to think like that, it shows, you know, how much he evolved since the beginning. For me, this episode was the perfect resume of all of what Bakugo did during all of these seasons and how much he evolved physically, you know, with his powers, how strong he got, but also emotionally, psychologically, with how much he evolved and opened himself to other people. And now he's not just thinking about himself and for himself and, you know, I'm the best and all of that. No, the fact that he's dedicating, you know, his victory, because it's his victory, to all of these people. The fact that finishing the master, being like that, you know, like, that's it, I did it. In fact, his words are for Izuku. And he's saying Izuku! He's not using any bad nickname, no, he's using his real name. And the fact that his first thought line after this victory, it's for him. I feel so proud of Bakugo, like a proud mom who saw, you know, his son evolving during all of these years to finish by being the man that I always wanted him to become. I feel so relieved. And I feel also relieved that that's it, now we're done with the master. We don't have to care about him anymore. That's so big, so fucking big, and it was only the episode 4 of this final season. I don't know really how many episodes are we gonna have for this season. I searched for the information at the beginning of this season 8. Now I'm afraid of making researches because I'm afraid of falling, you know, into spoilers. But if you guys into the comments you can tell me that, how many episodes we're supposed to have for this season, I would be really glad. Please tell me that. No matter what, now I have the impression that we only missed Deku against Shigaraki, you know, that fight. I mean, all of the other fights that we had in other parts of Japan, we resolved all of them, except one. We saw during the little recap of the previous episodes that we only missed one fight. So are we gonna spend time with them finishing these fights? I don't know about it, because at the same time, okay, we have our students involved into this fight, but not one of the big ones, you know, not Ochaco, any of them. So I don't know if we're gonna spend time with them, maybe one episode at some point, but I don't think that we can spend more time than one episode on that one. And I think that no matter what, Deku against Shigaraki, it's gonna take a long time, it's gonna take episodes. But again, not knowing how many episodes this final season is supposed to take, I have trouble, you know, to imagine how they're gonna build the season. I'm stressed, that's why I have trouble to talk. I'm stressed, in fact, about what is gonna happen now. The previous episodes were so great. The fact that All Might survived that was so unexpected for me because of my mojo, of the fact that the mentor has to die or to disappear at some point for the hero to shine on its own. I thought that we could avoid that because All Might lost his powers, so I was like, ah okay, so that's it. In fact, he died, he disappeared, so that's enough. But when I saw All Might facing the master, fighting him and all, I was like, that's it. You're gonna sacrifice yourself, you're gonna die. And the fact that it didn't happen, so unexpected. The fact that it's Bakugo who always admired you, who did it for you. The symbolic of it, like really the previous episodes, they killed me. Emotionally, they killed me. I don't want to cry today. If I can spend one episode, if I can have a break during one episode for this season 8, it would be great, and I think that it can be now. Are we gonna have news about others during this episode? Maybe without being at a fight, maybe we can have news about the organization, about the ones who were hurt, you know, stuff like that. I don't know why I feel that this episode can be a break episode. To not go directly for Deku and his fight. I hope that I'm right with that. We'll see, and I'm gonna see that right now. Remember that if you want, I have a Patreon on which you can have these reaction videos for this season 8 earlier, one day earlier. And you can have them with the full reaction part, my reactions and my thoughts to everything, to the entire episode. It's with the level 3, everything in full opacity. And also remember that right now on YouTube you have the intro and review part. For the reaction part, for the YouTube video, the YouTube version of this video, it's on the description. You have a link into the description. Into this link you have a reaction part, but respecting the fair use rules like I do each time. I'm forced to put it somewhere else, you know, not on YouTube, for a lot of reasons that I already explained way too much. But no matter what, I'm respecting the fair use rules, meaning playing with opacity, making a lot of cuts, everything through that link. So if you really want the entire thing, you know, my reactions and my thoughts to the entire thing, it's on my Patreon with the level 3. Let's go guys for this episode! I didn't expect it to finish like that. Like I didn't expect to be right away with this fight Deku Shigaraki. I thought that we could have a break episode. We have one situation, one fight unresolved, so I thought that maybe we could take the time, one episode to do that, a break after all of what happened with All Might and Bakugo. No break. No break for this season. They made me cry again. Like really, they're gonna make me cry during each episode of this final season. But the fact that they are using memories that much, for sure it plays with my emotions. Just, you know, to show me, for example, Izuku's mom, well that's it, I have tears coming into my eyes right away. So, for sure, if you're doing something even more emotional, you're gonna get me and I'm gonna cry. I can't even remember when I cried really during this episode, because a lot of moments were emotional. All of the first things, you know, about the fact that Shigaraki, he wants to destroy this country, he wants to destroy everything, he made a plan with it, that's why he sent Deku's here. The Mount Fuji place, you know, is really symbolic for Japan, for the country, for also the eruption, what it can do, so for that it's really great, in my opinion. I wonder if we're gonna stay here, but I prefer for them to fight here than middle of the ocean, clearly. For the aspect, you know, the environment for this final fight, I think that it's better like that. This fight is so hard for Deku. This fight is so rough. You know, at several occasions I was like, okay, what help can we have? But at the same time I was like, in fact no one can come really, because they are already hurt and they already suffered a lot during their own fights, and no matter what they are not strong enough to do something really, so they're gonna become weaknesses for Deku. He's gonna have to save them and to fight Shigaraki. So in fact I want no one to help Deku right there, none of our guys. So yes, in fact it's the farmer bearers, you know, of the power, of the quirk, who can do it. And that's what they do, that's the strength that they give him, you know, by all of these advices, by standing up like that together. Oh, one of them got caught so easily, and for sure the fact that it's the one helping us to localize danger, that's really bad. What is happening at the end with the fact that they want to go for his mind and not to go for his body, because they understood that for the strength, for a physical attack, in fact, it can't be like that, like they're not gonna get him like that, so the fight has to be more with the mind. I think that it's a good idea. It's going a lot with all of the things about the fact that Deku, he thinks that inside there is still someone, a person is attached to that idea of this kid who needs help. They're talking about it all together, and I think that it was at that moment that I cried, because really for Deku, even during this fight, when he's about to die, when it's so hard, when he's against the worst villain ever, he can't help himself but to see the human being inside, the person, the little kid who got hurt, who had no one. I love him so much for that, for having that big kind heart. But yes, going for the mind, going for that little weakness into his mind that you saw, that's a good option. But if it means that all of you, one by one, you're gonna sacrifice yourselves, that I'm against it, because it's gonna leave Deku all by himself. And you know, in fact, it means that little by little he's gonna have one quirk, one ability leaving him, when already right now with all of these abilities, it's not enough. But at the same time, it means also that Shigaraki is gonna get weaker with all of these attacks. I swear I don't want for All Might to be the last one, you know, to sacrifice himself, because he's alive, but at the same time he's present also with all of the former bearers. So I have the impression that maybe at some point he can give up and die, so he's gonna be fully with the former bearers, so he can be the last attack on that weakness. Oh, that's it! Like, really, the fight against the master, I was like, oh, but that's it. I thought that my mojo of the mentor has to die, to disappear at the end, wouldn't apply here with All Might because he lost his powers. In fact, you're facing the master, you're gonna die. Suddenly Bakugo appears and saves you, so I'm like, ah, okay, cool. In fact, All Might is not gonna die during this final season, during this final fight. So cool, so cool. And in fact, it can happen again. All Might can be that close to die again, to sacrifice himself again. If, you know, they all have to do it, all of the former bearers of the quirk, they have to sacrifice themselves to go for that weakness one by one, to make him weaker, so physically after that it can be enough, you know, to destroy him. All Might, like really until the end of this season, the end of this anime, I'm gonna be scared for All Might. I'm more scared for All Might right now than for Deku, who is the one fighting. Like really, Laura. That was a good episode. They made me cry again. That's what they wanted. And we're already into the fight against Shigaraki. I don't know again how many episodes we're gonna have for this season, and if you know that, please tell me. It would help me to prepare myself for each episode, for when the end is gonna happen truly, because right now I'm really going blindly to this season, so I have trouble to imagine what to expect for each episode and how bad and emotional and big it's gonna be each time. Even if now I have the impression that they just confirmed me that each episode is gonna be big and I'm not gonna be able to have a little break, not even one little break episode. And again, a break episode, it's one episode about another fight in which maybe someone else is gonna die, but just not the big fights. Break episodes. It's a final season, it can't happen. Okay, that was cool. Tell me, what did you think about it? Tell me if you know how many episodes do we have, and I will see you next week for another episode. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you can have these reaction videos earlier, one day earlier, and with the reaction part In full opacity and everything, my reactions and my thoughts to the entire episode, it's with the level 3 on my Patreon. Guys, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Great.